So today I'm going to be giving a quick review and overview of the book Extreme Ownership. It's an awesome leadership book. I would highly recommend it. It was written by two ex-Navy SEALs, Jocko Wilkins and Leif Babin. Just really good principles that they learned on the battlefield and how they can apply them to the business world. So I would highly recommend it to you if you're anybody in a leadership position or you're just looking for some tips to better yourself personally. It's a lot of actionable tips that you guys can definitely take advantage of. So the book is broken down into chapters, and each chapter is broken down into 3 sections. So the first section is a wartime story that they use a leadership principle in. So they use like an illustration of that story and the leadership principle that it talks about. And then the next section it talks about the principle and kind of explains what it is. And then the last section is how you can apply that to business using another story. So I like how they use stories for everything. It's very engaging, very interesting stories, very riveting. So yeah, it keeps it really interesting, keeps things moving, and shows you different ways to apply them to your life that I think is better than just like a textbook style. So the first one is obviously extreme ownership. So taking extreme ownership of everything, not blaming the others around you, not blaming those below you or above you. Look in the mirror first. If something went wrong, look what you could have done to change it instead of going ahead and blaming others for that. The next one is there are no bad teams, there are just bad leaders. So they tell a story in this one, so I'll kind of give you an example of one of the stories that they tell. So the story was about these Navy SEALs who are training. They have all these groups training against each other, kind of in teams, and they have these boats that they have to have like races in, and they carry them around, and then they have to dump them, and they get back in them and like do obstacle courses or whatever it is. So there's one team that was just crushing everybody else. They had a good, confident, calm leader, and then they had another team that was they're just doing terrible, like the instructor's yelling at them because they're doing so bad, and then the leader's like, my team, like you could see he was dejected, and he thought his team was not up to par. He thought the other guys just had better teams, and that's why he was failing. And then they went ahead at one point and they switched the 2 leaders, and of course, when the good leader went to that bad boat, that boat became the best boat, and then the other one stayed about where it was. So it kind of shows that a good leader, his men, like the guys he had left, still had that ongoing for a while of his good leadership. And then, but when he came to the boat that had the crew that wasn't doing well, they just needed a good leader in order to get up to the top. So don't go blaming others, don't go blaming your team. Look at yourself, and there are no bad teams, just bad leadership. So that was the principle they were driving home there. So a couple more real quick. Believe in the mission. So make sure everybody knows what's going on. They're all on the same page, and make sure that everybody knows why they're doing something. They have a strong why. They want to do this. So just, believe in the mission. Another one would be keep it clear and simple. So just make sure that everybody knows what's going on. So you don't have these big convoluted plans. You just got to have it very, very, very dumbed down so that everybody understands. Everybody knows what direction you're going into. Nobody's confused. So that would be another one, is just to keep it really simple. So another one is prioritize and execute. So the Navy SEALs have a saying: relax, look around, make a call. So the story that they tell in this one is really, really intriguing. So like they're in like a battle zone, and like everything's going wrong, and they have all these problems that they got to solve at once. So he has to prioritize which one is the most important, do that, next important, do that, next important, do that. Instead of trying to do everything at once and being scattered and not doing anything well, pick one thing that is the most important and do that, finish it. And then pick the next thing and do that, finish it. Instead of trying to do everything a little bit, try to do one thing a lot, So another one is just make a decision and execute. So sometimes it's hard to make that decision, but you just have to pick something and go with it. Sometimes there's not always a clear best choice. So another one is telling what a good leader is. So let me just run over that for you, and I'll read here. A good leader must be these things. It must be confident but not cocky, courageous but not foolhardy, competitive but a gracious loser, attentive to detail but not obsessed by them, a leader and a follower, aggressive, not overbearing, humble but not passive, quiet but not silent, calm but not robotic. A good leader has nothing to prove and everything to prove. So I think that kind of sums up what they're trying to drive home throughout the entire book. And they use different analogies to tell you how you can grow all those things within yourself. But yeah, that's kind of what a good leader should be, and then they tell you how to get there. So it's a really good book. I'd highly recommend it. If you want to check it out, I'll link it in the show notes. And if you like this video, go ahead and like it and subscribe. I'll be doing I'll be doing book reviews for the next 5 weeks while I'm doing this 5-book challenge. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a good day.